With Damian Priest winning the World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestlemania 40, we are going to break down the most likely superstars to take the belt from him in the upcoming months. And you're going to want to stay tuned to the end of the video because some of these choices may shock you. And we're going to break it all down for you on this episode of Wrestle Digest. But before we get into it, we got to say that 89% of you guys watching these videos aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you're looking for a place for wrestling content here on YouTube, you found it right here at Wrestle Digest, because we're going to be here every day bringing you wrestling content, so you're not going to want to miss it. And we're only 20 subscribers away from hitting our goal of 1,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, you want to get us one sub closer to our goal of 1,000, we'd really appreciate it if you went down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's just jump right into the main topic of the video, which is who's going to take the belt off Damian Priest. And yes, there are about 5 people here that we think are going to take the belt off of Damian Priest, or the most likely to, in our opinion. But first, we're going to start out with an honorable mention here, which is Ricochet. I mean, Ricochet has been a great superstar over this last little while. They've really been pushing him, and, you know, he's more the guy who fights on the mid-card on Raw, but he has really shown to up his game, and the fans are kind of getting really into Ricochet matches. So, I mean, as an honorable mention here, I think it is the right spot for him, because you don't really see him tossed right into the World Heavyweight Championship race. But if, you know, Damian Priest holds onto it for a quite amount of time, Ricochet could be the guy to take it off him.
I mean, ideally, the title for Ricochet would be King of the Cruiserweights, but you know, we don't have the Cruiserweight division. We spoke about, you know, maybe seeing the possibility of the Cruiserweight division coming back, Cruiserweight title on the revamp, which would be nice. But Ricochet definitely deserves the honorable mention here. He's been putting on performances night in, night out for as long as I can remember. I've always been a Ricochet guy, but he was never really utilized right under Vince's vision. And now that Paul Levesque is in charge, I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Ricochet.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with you there. I think Ricochet's a great superstar. Like you said, he's the high flyer. Everybody loves him. He puts off some great moves from the top rope, flying out ringside as well. And I think it's only a matter of time before we see Ricochet with some gold around his waist. And I can't wait for it, because I think there's nobody deserving more than Ricochet. But we're gonna get into the real list here, the stuff that you guys came in for, and the first one we're gonna talk about is maybe somebody you guys forgot about, and that is the monster among men, Braun Strowman. And yes, Braun Strowman has been out with injury for quite some time. I believe it was a neck, maybe back injury. Correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comment section. But the latest update on him was that he was getting closer and closer to returning. That was in February. We're now in April, so maybe we get to see the return of the monster among men, Braun Strowman.
I mean, as we touched yesterday on yesterday's video about the Firefly Funhouse possibility and Alexa Bliss on the uprise of returning, I mean, it would be a great look, I think, to put Braun Strowman into this mix, which gives us, again, Firefly Funhouse maybe versus the Judgment Day. I think that could be a great possible angle. I mean, of course, this is all speculation and theory, but I think it would be a heck of a fun thing to see. And honestly, I've never been that big of a Braun Strowman guy, but anybody can take this title off Damian Priest, and this guy will be pleased.
Yeah, definitely. I like Braun Strowman. I like the work he does, and I mean, him being out for, I guess it was like the last couple of years now, or maybe even a year that he's been out, and he hasn't really been involved in WWE. I'm sure he's involved behind the scenes in some way, but I mean, like we've seen, this injury just sidelined Big E. I believe these guys like both had neck injuries. Big E saying he might never wrestle again. Luckily for Braun Strowman, he got, you know, a better end of this case, and that he's getting closer and closer to return. And I think there's no better way to return for Braun Strowman than to come out and try to win this World Heavyweight Championship off of Damian Priest. And if you really want to give Braun Strowman another push, I think he wins this title off Damian Priest. And I'd really like to see this. I love the monster among men, Braun Strowman. And if he's in that Firefly Funhouse like you're saying, I think that would be a great way to reintroduce him as well. But we're going to get to the next guy on our list here, and that is the Ring General, Gunther. And yes, we talked about Gunther potentially beating Cody Rhodes for his championship, but Gunther is on Raw. The World Heavyweight Championship, as of this moment, is on Raw. So maybe this may be the better way to maybe push Gunther for a world title, because we just seen him come off that incredible 666-day reign as IC champion. I think they're going to try to give him a push at a world title, and I think the World Heavyweight Championship just makes the most sense.
Absolutely. Gunther belongs in both of these title lists. Again, off that phenomenal IC title run, dropping the belt to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, of course. But I think it opens up the opportunity to put Gunther in the world title picture. Even if he doesn't hold the strap for a little while, he definitely belongs up in the world competitor category, because, well, like you said, we've seen what he's capable of. We've seen him hold the title, the IC title, brought the prestigiousness back to that belt. And yeah, he's just all around a fantastic competitor.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm a big Ring General fan. I like the work he does in the ring. I like the work he does on the mic. I think he's just a great all-around superstar, and that's why we've seen him go on that big, long IC title reign for so long. And I think this is what he could bring to maybe a world championship. I think, you know, enough fans enjoy him and like him now that, you know, you're not going to, you know, make the WWE Universe upset by putting him as World Heavyweight Champion. And I think similar to what I was saying about Ricochet, I think if Damian Priest holds on to us through his first couple of defenses, I think this could be an option we do see.
Absolutely. And, you know, Damian Priest and the Ring General, they have similar builds. I mean, they're both brick houses, to say the least. Both men, you know, can both put up a great fight. And as JR would say, it would be one heck of a slobber knocker.
That's the truth. I'm really excited because I think these guys are going to cross paths eventually. If it's for the title, if it's not for the title, I think this would be a great match nonetheless. But we're going to get to the next guy on our list here, which is Drew McIntyre. And yes, I know a lot of you guys may be asking, why are you putting Drew McIntyre on this list? He lost the #1 contenders match because of a Punk interference. But hear us out here, because I think Drew McIntyre is the perfect guy to take this belt from Damian Priest. So then, once, you know, him and Punk have their match, it's for the World Heavyweight Championship, which puts a lot more hype around that match that's already there.
Absolutely. I mean, you throw a world title onto any match, it's going to hype it up a little bit. And Drew McIntyre, as we remember, you know, he took a little time and gloated a little too hard, and, you know, he ended up costing his WrestleMania moment, and the cash-in happened, and Damian Priest is now our champion. But, again, Drew, for me personally, this version of Drew is the best version of Drew that we've gotten in a long time. I was a fan of the sword when he first started, but the sword became a little stale, especially when it, you know, curved or whatever else happened there. But enough of that. He's revamped. He's looking hungry. It would just make sense to give Drew another chance. It really would.
Yeah, and the match makes sense, you know, the history is there now with Priest cashing in on an interference by Punk, so it only makes sense that eventually these guys' paths are going to cross for this championship, and I think if they do, while Priest is still champion, I think Drew knocks him off, because, like you said, the work that Drew has been putting in over this last, you know, little while has really propelled him to the top of the food chain in the WWE, in my opinion, and I think, you know, he deserves, out of anybody on the roster, to have this championship around his waist.
Well, like you said, a couple weeks back, we got Clash of the Castle coming up, and I know that you're looking forward to that, because for those of you who don't know, KC is going to be attending Clash of the Castle.
Hopefully.
So that'll hopefully, if all goes well. But yeah. That'll be some fun, and yeah, the speculation around Drew possibly holding the gold for that event, I mean, it's definitely still up in the air.
Yeah, definitely, and I hope he is champion by Clash at the Castle, because if I do end up making my way over to Scotland, I'd love to see him defend the championship in his home nation. I think that would be such a great match, and I think eventually he will have this title, whether it's right away, maybe not, maybe it takes a little bit for him to get this, because I think he needs to, you know, clue up this feud with CM Punk first, but I think if he can win this title amongst, you know, this feud with CM Punk. It would add a little bit more fuel to the fire for him defending his championship against CM Punk, which everybody would like to see. But enough about Drew. Let's get right into the next guy we're going to talk about here. And that is the main event, Jey Uso. Yeet. And obviously, Jey Uso, as of now, is the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I think there's no better guy. I know we said this about Drew McIntyre, but there's no better face to win this World Heavyweight Championship off of Damian Priest than Jey Uso. This guy is white hot right now. The crowd reaction is unreal when he comes to the ring. His song's playing. He gets up. Pat McAfee's even waving the arms on top of the announce table. So it only makes sense for Jey Uso to eventually get some gold around his waist.
Absolutely. And again, reason we put Jey Uso here, he's the only one right now who seems to be completely rid of the bloodline drama. So, you know, even if Jey does get into this match, who knows? We could see interference from the bloodline, which draws them back into that storyline. And but, you know, I'm liking what they're doing with Jey Uso as a solo competitor. He's proven himself. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of the Jimmy versus Jey Wrestlemania match. But I mean, you know, the nerves were probably there. Brother versus brother. It was their dream match. So we can't really hold that against either of those guys, I guess you could say. But Jey Uso, main event Uso, yeet.
Yeah, I think could win this championship easily. I think, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say for me, because do they want to push the Judgment Day? Do they want to push both the World Heavyweight Champions being in the same faction? Or do they want to push Jey Uso, who's a guy who's white hot right now, and I think he deserves to have a solo championship like the World Heavyweight belt around his waist at some point? And then this could also, maybe if he wins this match, this could also set up a match between him and Drew McIntyre for this belt, because obviously, you know, the heel versus face could really work in here as well. But I don't know, I really like the thought of Jey Uso being the World Heavyweight Champion. I think he really deserves it. The work he's put in over these years, many years as tag team champion, many years in the bloodline. I think him now coming out on his own and winning a solo championship is really, it could really be good for his game. But we're going to get into our #1 guy, the guy we think who is going to take this belt off of Damian Priest, and that is Finn Balor. And this may shock you guys, but you gotta hear us out here, because Finn Balor, to me, Brady, is the perfect fit to take this belt off of Damian Priest. I think eventually, as time goes on, Finn's going to get a little bit more jealous that he doesn't have no gold around his waist, and Damian Priest is living out his dream of being champion that he never got to live out because he got injured when he won the belt. So I think this is all going to boil over at some point, and, you know, Finn's going to turn on the Judgment Day.
I mean, our #1 pick here was why I was so hesitant on praising up everybody else before Finn, because this is cinema. And as we've seen at WrestleMania, the Paul Levesque era is all about that cinema. We've seen Finn, you know, he came in and took over the Judgment Day from Edge such a long time ago. And apart from the tag titles with Damian Priest, I mean, we really haven't seen Finn take a leadership role within this group, especially when it comes to solo competition and solo gold. As we see, Damian Priest is the world champion, and we have Mommy holding the women's championship as well, which just leaves JD McDonagh, Dominik Mysterio, and Finn Balor strapless. So absolutely, I've always been a Finn Balor guy, and I can see Finn having enough of this and just whipping out and bringing the demon back to take on the Judgment Day. And like you said, there's so many possibilities in this new Paul Levesque era. And I'm so excited to see what's next for every bit of the WWE.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited. This new era is really awesome. I've been loving watching wrestling again. Tuning into Raw, NXT, SmackDown every week has really got me back into it here. And I just love the unpredictability, because, I mean, a lot of people are probably going to predict that Finn's going to turn, but we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe, you know, we see a JD McDonagh turn that leads to Finn turning as well. Stuff like this could happen. But nonetheless, I want to see a Finn Balor title run. We got snubbed of it before, and I think he's just such a great in-ring competitor, and he's great with the demon Finn Balor.
That demon Finn.
And I think this is what he deserves. I think he deserves to have this solo gold around his waist. He deserves to have this run in the WWE that he never got to have. I think the only way that he gets to do this at this point is by turning face again, and we get to see the lights go up and, you know, the demon come out. I think this would be great for wrestling and just great for Finn Balor in general.
Absolutely. The fans would pop. Finn needs this. And it's very possible because, like I said, I keep saying it's the Paul Levesque era, and we all know how fond Paul Levesque is of Finn Balor. Thank goodness. Finn Balor is one of the top guys. He's one of the best in the ring. And honestly, when the Demon comes around, it's arguably one of the best characters within the company. I was always a fan of the Demon back in NXT. And when he brought it up to the main roster and the Demon beat Seth Rollins and then Finn had to give the title away the next night because of injury, it's just cinema waiting to be built. And as I said before, I cannot wait. Guys, let us know in the comments what you guys think. Who would you like to see take on Damian Priest? I know for me personally, our number one is like Casey, Finn Balor. Finn Balor's our pick, but who do you guys want to see? Let us know down below.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. What's your takes on this, Aaron? I know you're probably asking yourself right now, why isn't Seth Rollins on your list? And that's because in a previous video when we talked about who's going to win the belt off of Cody Rhodes, we thought Seth Rollins was better fit for that rather than winning his World Heavyweight Championship back. So if you want to go check that one out, it'll be pop up on your screen towards the end of the video. So make sure to stay tuned to check that one out. And like Brady said, let us know all your thoughts on who's going to take the World Heavyweight Championship. Is it someone we didn't even list here? Let us know down below in the comments section. We're going to get in everybody's favorite topic here, and that is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Mr. Dad II. He says the video GIF shows Solo with no hair, and he means the thumbnail in yesterday's video when we were talking about the bloodline. Our buddy Josh here on the channel cooked up a great thumbnail of Solo Sikoa with Paul Heyman's nice head of hair, and I thought it was just a great thumbnail. It's great that some of you guys noticed that down in the comment section. I mean, that was just a beauty, Brady.
Oh, absolutely. And Casey, I feel like it's notable to share your comment that you said to me as well about the thumbnail. Casey said, "Lost an inch of hairline for every loss he suffered." I cracked up over this, but I mean, it's such a funny thumbnail. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Shout out to Josh for that one. He's getting a shout out here on Comment of the Day.
Shout out, Josh.
And if you guys are gonna go check that out on our page. Click on our page, scroll down. It's a couple videos back. It's just a great thumbnail, so go check it out. And while you're checking everything out, make sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we're like 20 subscribers away from hitting our goal of 1,000. So if you're not subscribed and you're looking for a place for a bunch of goobers talking about wrestling, you found it right here at Wrestle Digest. And if you want to check out that video we did about Cody Rhodes and who's going to take the belt from him, it's going to be popped up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC, alongside my co-host, Brady. We'll catch you in the next one.